Hello everyone, welcome back to Science YouTube channel. So in this video we'll be discussing the second important topic of the module 6, that is Snedeker's F-distribution test, or simply known as the F-test. So in this, a random variable f is said to follow the F-test if its probability density function is given by the formula has been given here, where f function of capital F is equals to v1 by v2 to the power of v1 by 2 into f of v1 by 2 minus 1 divided by beta function of v1 by 2 v2 by 2 into 1 plus v1 f by v2 to the power of v1 plus v2 by 2, where capital F should be greater than 0. Here beta of m comma n denotes the beta function. So what are the properties of F distribution test? F distribution test has the properties that the square of the t variant, that is the t test, with n as the degree of freedom, would follow a F distribution with 1 to n of degree of freedom. It's not a very important topic. We'll discuss a question on this and then you'll understand it better. And mean is v2 by v2 minus 2, where v2 is greater than 2. And variance is 2v2 square, v1 plus v2 minus 2, divided by v1 v2 minus 2 whole square, v2 minus 4, where v2 is greater than 4 since it can't be negative. Then sigma 1 square, what is sigma 1 square? It is variance of population 1. Sigma 2 square is variance of population 2. S1 square is variance of sample 1 and S2 square is variance of sample 2. These would be used in the formula, so we have discussed it before only. What does this mean? Now let us discuss what are the uses of F-test. So the F-test is used to test the significance of difference between population variances and F-table. So we take out a value from the F-table and compare it with the population's variance. So sigma 1 square is equal to n1 s1 square divided by n1 minus 1, where degree of freedom v1 is equals to n1 minus 1. Similarly, degree of freedom of v2 is equals to n2 minus 1, and sigma 2 square is equals to n2 into s2 square by n2 minus 1. And F ratio is given by sigma 1 square by sigma 2 square. We know that F should be always greater than 1, so sigma 1 square should be greater than sigma 2 square. There's a thing to note that F greater than 1, so V1 is N1 minus 1 and V2 is N2 minus 1. Let us solve an example to know how much we have understood from the topic. So the example goes like this. A sample of size 13 is given, an estimated population variance is given as 3, and the sample size of another 15 gives an estimate of 2.5. Could both the samples be from the population with the same variances? So size of population has been given, size of another sample has been given, and variance of one sample is given, and other population is also given. And since we know the size, we can calculate the degrees of freedom as n1 minus 1 and n2 minus 1. So we have assumed the null hypothesis that the samples can be drawn from the population with the same variances, and the alternative hypothesis is opposite of the null hypothesis, that is, it is not equal. So let the level of significance be 5% for the test. Now calculating the F ratio, that is sigma 1 square by sigma 2 square, we get the value as 1.2. We know the degree of freedom, which we have calculated using the size of the sample. So the F of 5%, level of significance value 5%, the table value from the F table we get is 2.53. Now we'll compare the table value and the value which we have calculated. Since the value we have calculated is less than the table value, we know that the H0 will be accepted and null alternative hypothesis will be rejected. So the conclusion is that the two samples could have come from the two normal population with the same variances. Let us deal with another example in the F-test only. The question can come differently as like this. Two samples of sizes 9 and 8 give the sums of the square of deviation from the respective mean equal to 160 and 91. Can they be regarded as drawn from the same sample population? So the size of the sample has been given directly, that is 9 and 8. But something has been given very confusingly, that is xi. From each and every value, we have subtracted the mean. So it would be the deviation, that is variance, has been given as 160 and 91. So directly we have been given the variance, that is n1 s1 square is equal to 160 and n2 s2 square is 91. So we have calculated sigma 1 square using the formula n1 s1 square by n1 minus 1 and sigma 2 square. Now we know that the sigma 1 square is greater than the sigma 2 square. So we taken the null hypothesis as sigma 1 square equals to sigma 2 square, and alternative hypothesis would be opposite of null hypothesis, that is sigma 1 square is not equal to sigma 2 square, and let the level of significance be 5%. So at the 5% of level of significance, we have calculated the F ratio as sigma 1 square by sigma 2 square, which came out to be 1.54. So the F value of 5% from the table we have calculated is 3.73. Since the value which I have calculated is less than the table value, H0 is accepted and H1 is rejected. So the conclusion is that the two samples could have come from the two normal population with the same variances. To understand how much you have learned from the topic, you can solve an exercise. So there's a question that two random samples have the following data, sample 1 and sample 2. Size has been given, mean has been given, and variance has been given. Can you conclude that the two samples have been drawn from the same normal population? You can just apply the formula and get the answer for this question. In the second question, it has been given that the nicotine contents in the two random samples of tobacco are given below, sample 1 and sample 2. Can you say that the two samples come from the same population? So you can calculate the size of the sample as 5 and the size of the sample 2 is 6. So you can calculate the mean and the variance, and you can just apply it into the formula and get the answers and compare it with the F table, and you can conclude whether they have come from the population with the same variance or not. Thank you guys for watching this video.